Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Classic Class Podcast. It's your boy HSR.
It's your boy Chris Chrome.
It is your lady friend Bonnie.
And before we get into this, let's take care of the housekeeping. Sorry for the lack of episodes and potential lack of energy. I fell off my bike and bumped my head, and it's been a fucking rough couple of days on my end. But yeah, here we are. Recording again. Woot. So this little show is us kind of taking a little stab at listening to albums as we go and just going through them track by track and just trying to understand.
More classic albums, not just albums.
Yeah, like
albums.
what
Well,
makes...
we decide if they're classic albums.
Yeah, but like they're still like... These are the best albums of all time, allegedly. Maybe not this one, but in general, these are just albums that are perceived as classics, and we go through them and just kind of try to understand why people liked various albums, run through it.
And I think we give it a classic rating if it's a 4 point.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Out of 5.
Out of 5 or
Because I don't personally think anything's a 5.0, but anyway. So we're not the most profound hip-hop heads. We're not the most, anything. We're just regular folk like you who are just here to talk about the album in a more podcasty settings.
Yep.
Before we get into anything, let's just take a couple of quick seconds here to thank Mozart, our current only Patreon. That's right, we have Patreon now. Remember? So if you like what we do and you want to show some love and offer some support in some way, you can check out patreon.com/behindthatsuit, and we can you can see the tiers and available offers there, and let us know what you think would be an interesting Patreon reward. We also have just last week we did, or I guess was it last week or 2 weeks ago? No, it was last week. Last week we did The Last Emperor.
Yeah.
This is The Legend of Bigfoot. This album was actually from a request from Mozart off of our Grind to 1,000 subscribers contest, where he won the $25 gift card. The $50 gift card has been claimed, and the $100 gift card has not been claimed. So we're going to wait on another request coming in. But Mozart requested this. We did the review. And my favorite comment from last week was actually this one from Chris B. The Last Emperor is a great lyricist, but his music isn't for everyone. There's no denying his talent, though. I thought that was an excellent summary of at least this particular project, to which actually Mozart responded, true, it's for the people who like heavily reference music, which I thought was a super apt way to describe the situation.
Nice.
And I thought it was a cool comment that just kind of summarized my general thoughts on the album.
Yeah, for sure.
If you subscribe to this channel, you like this video, and you leave a comment, you will potentially be able to still win that $100 prize. I'll be giving it out in a couple of days after this episode airs. We're going to do a redraw unless that person claims it. And we'll just keep redrawing a person until that person wins the last gift card that's available, plus the right to request a review from us. On that note, why don't we get into this a little bit? So, Chris, why don't you introduce the album that we are talking about today?
Well, like we've been doing so far, every 10th album review is a female.
Whoop, whoop.
So we went with Nicki Minaj's album that dropped in 2010, Pink Friday.
This was definitely one that Chris was very adamant that we do.
Well, I was kind of thinking back and like which female rapper we should do, and I noticed we haven't done a Nicki yet. And I looked back, and the first album she dropped was this one back in 2010. And then I remembered I actually bumped this entire thing when she first dropped it. So
nice.
It's a little bit of nostalgia. So
Fair enough. I know Nicki Minaj because, who doesn't? She's been kind of all over music for the last decade or so. I definitely remember when this project came out and when the single started appearing. I can't say I ever listened to this album in full before, so this would be my first time really giving it an honest and fair chance without the... Because at the time it was cool to not like Young Money, so I was on the team I didn't like Young Money back then, so I shot on them all, just because. And this was just kind of like in a different experience. Actually, take an open mind and listen to it.
Right.
How about you, Bunny?
Same thing. Like Nicki Minaj is kind of like hard to avoid. She's kind of around all over the place. Like, wasn't she like a judge on like American Idol or something? And
oh yeah,
I feel like she's kind of been around and like, I don't know, she causes drama I think a lot, and she gets her name in the headlines, which is good. Yeah, I mean, but this album, like my roommate had it at one point, and so I've kind of like heard it like through him. Um, yeah, I think she's pretty cool. So I'm interested to see like actually like sit down and listen to. I've never listened to like the whole album. I don't think so. It was fun. It was an interesting experience.
That's fair. So, what do you think about the title and the cover?
Really suits her personality. Really suits her Barbie type theme that she goes for. If you look on the cover, it's Nicki Minaj represented as a Barbie. Kind of have like that dress dress go in. You kind of feel like her extended legs, and they're kind of like bent in that like weird doll shaped form. Like it just really looks doll like. But I think it's also like it really sticks to her princessness and her like queenness of like female. It's like being pink and being this and sticking together. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it too. I think like absolutely like her legs are like the first thing that like catch your attention. They're just like they look so long, and she has like these huge like boots on and stuff like that. So it really like the illusion looks like so long, like they just go on forever. And then so she does kind of look like a Barbie, and she looks kind of like like she's kind of like posing in like a certain way, and it's very pink. But I think it's also showing that she's like soft and pink and delicate. But she's a tough ass bitch. Like, so I think that it's a good, like, difference between the two.
Well, like,
Yeah.
that's actually really cool to think about it, because now I'm thinking, like, Barbie the icon is, like, this most popular, most beautiful, most this, most that. So, like, incorporating that in terms of her bossness and being on top, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I like how it's this giant flowy dress thing that's just pouring out in, like, all directions.
It's almost like a throne.
A little bit, yeah. And, I mean, that's what it is. She's just there. I like the title. It's Pink Friday. Just kind of establishing this is her brand almost. Like, this is her entering this situation.
She has no hands. She has no arms.
That's true. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think a lot about it per se. I just know that it very much suits her, and I suppose the impact all this time later is when you hear Pink Friday, my first thought is Nicki Minaj. Right. So I suppose it's a really effective title to kind of capture who she is at the time. And I think it's strong. I don't have a lot more to comment on that. I don't know if you guys want to just get into this.
Just hop right in.
All right, well, let's start with I'm the best.
Tiger, the Lion of Judah. Now it's me and my time. It's just me and my prime.
So what did y'all think about this one?
Thought it was good. It had that right off the bat. It had that Young Money sound to it, and that's something that really stuck to me. That like that loop. Like I've heard it on. I'm pretty sure I've heard it on a Lil Wayne track. I've heard that like anthem-y feel to it. So right away, she's rolling with she's rolling not with Eminem, with a Lil Wayne. she's got she's finally either co-signed or with a label. She's claiming she's the best. She's coming out and doing what she's got to do, representing. Something I really enjoyed, and this is something I've been noticing like after we've been doing a lot of these reviews, a line where she goes, "I remember when I couldn't buy my mother a couch. Now I'm sitting at the closing buying my mother a house. Bought my mother a house," and it's like she has that hip hop feel. On a lot of hip hop music, they seem to reference their mothers and explaining like, I'm trying to just feed my family, feed my mom, give back to what my mom gave to me. So you really see she's like in hip hop. She's doing it for her family. She's doing it for a bigger cause than just for the money for herself. And I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really strong start to the album, and I gave it a 4.
Nice. I loved it. I mean, I would definitely like if you have like that kind of confidence and like love for yourself. I think this is a great name, and I think it's a great start to the album. Kind of like saying like this is who I am. I'm the best. Like it's a pretty strong introduction. And she makes mistakes, but she believed in herself and her talent. And now she's made it, and she's like kind of like hot shit. She's in demand. She's doing it, and you're not. Like she's just kind of like sorry, like she's kind of saying like, sorry to everybody that she's kind of passed over. Mm-hmm. And she says it's kind of lonely at the top because everybody else is below her, and she's a bad bitch, and she's fighting, and she's just the best. And I think it's a pretty like positive message, and you can tell that she's like proud of who she is and where she's come from, and of her work that she's doing, and of her accomplishments, and that she's here and she wants to like leave a mark on, the music industry at the very least. Yeah, I give it a 4.5. It's a pretty strong song.
Okay, so it comes in and it's got that anthem-y feel. I don't know if I felt Young Money on it because I don't really know Young Money from that era as well.
From Old Money?
But it definitely felt really Pink is, I guess, my first thought. Like, that beat to me just felt like a strong but soft feel to it, right? Because I guess that's what she's trying to put off. Like, it's like her energy, and it's a really good start to kind of show why she's the best. So I thought that was cool. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I felt that like it didn't have the same kind of edge and the harshness that a lot of other beats might be coming in, even on like on that side of pop music or whatever. Like, and then I realized, I guess, why I didn't take Nicki Minaj as seriously back then. And it's because, man, her bars aren't necessarily full of depth, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, they're very much like made for like mainstream, right? Like, and she says
it's more than that. It's Nicki Minaj says like literally exactly what she's trying to say with like pure brevity. Like, and I suppose I can appreciate that a lot more now than I did back in the day. But like, it was back in 2007, did a couple of tapes, did a couple of DVDs, made a couple mistakes. Didn't know what I was doing, but I put on that cape. Now it's, which tour should I go on today? And you feel it, right? Like, you feel the sentiment that she's putting forward, this, like, accomplishment, acknowledging. Apparently she had some sex tapes that floated around. Apparently, like, she's growing from the situation, and she's kind of put herself out there and done it all right. And now, world tours. Like, she's accomplished that.
Dope.
But, like, when you really run lyrical analysis in Nicki Minaj, it's like there's almost nothing deeper. Like, it was back in 2007 and I made those tapes. Well, in 2007, Nicki Minaj made those tapes. That was I guess it. But now that I'm hearing it and I'm just kind of looking at her like career and thinking a bit about all she ended up accomplishing, it's pretty interesting. She just starts off chronicling how she fucked up and accomplished. Anyway, I did like when she's like, because even when my daddy was on crack, I was crack. Now the whole album crack, and you ain't gotta skip a track. I ain't gotta get a plaque, ain't gotta get awards. I just walk up out the door, all the girls will applaud. All the girls will commend as long as they understand that I'm fighting for the girls that never thought they could win. Because before they could begin, you told them I was the end, but I am here to reverse the curse that they live in. And then I'm like, well, maybe Nicki Minaj doesn't have to be super complicated. But at the end of the day, I used to hear a lot of women talk about how Nicki Minaj was like a really strong, feminist, powerful woman, and then
and also too, like a lot of the time, like when you see her, if she's standing, she's very much standing in like the power position, like superhero. Like, she's like ready to roll. Like, no matter like how she's standing or whatever she's doing, she's like strong, and she's like, kind of puffing out. Like, she's showing that she's like strong and powerful, and she can do whatever.
What I like is that like she knows that she's got the strength to make strong music, and she's chosen to do that. But then also that there is a need for her to be a female role model, and that she's going to be that person. And whatever you might think about her, and whatever her career turned into, and whatever. I don't remember this song being the one that got 2 or 3 million plays on YouTube, going viral. And like, when you saw those memes of people talking shit about Nicki Minaj passing like the stupid hoe chorus or whatever, and then comparing it to Led Zeppelin, who is full of terrible lyrics. Like, Led Zeppelin's lyrics are just as dumb as, let's say, the worst of pop today. Go look at their lyrics.
Oh boy.
Telling you, it's drivel. It's the same, like, Stairway to Heaven is the same kind of fluff pop that, like, a lot of, like, it was just a 70s version of, like, let's say what Young Money was doing today, as far as the depth of it goes. So, I just, like, but when you hear these lyrics, you're like, there's a lot there. Maybe it's not super deep or super complex or, like, this crazy analysis, but what she's saying is so admirable, and it's really a cool way to start the album,
Nice.
I mean, I did find the song to be a little bit sappy, the chorus a little bit fluffy. There's a little bit of sugariness to the song that is a little bit much. But I don't know that maybe this is a song that I'm the target demographic for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is clearly like targeted at women, for women.
And like young women too, right?
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I appreciate all of that. I think it's a really cool song, and it made me actually have a lot more respect for Nicki Minaj than I thought I would after the first track alone. But I don't know that I like it as much as some of the other ones, so I give it a 4. That beat is really simple. You know, it's really got not a lot going for it.
Yeah.
The chorus is very simple.
But it works.
But the verses are really nice, but simple. Anyway,
Let's check out Roman's Revenge.
yeah. So here we meet Roman Zelensky, Nicki Minaj's alter ego.
One of Nicki Minaj's.
Right. This is her version of Slim Shady, psychotic dude person.
Yep.
And I know that this song has a little bit of a funny story. Well, I don't know if it's funny, but she reached out to Eminem. Like, I remember this from like way back, because you know, in like 2010 or whatever, this was a kind of a big deal, right? Like, you have Nicki Minaj.
She was just starting out.
Right.
But on top of that, she's playing in the Young Money camp, so all of us haters were being haters, and then all of it, we're all like pro Eminem, right? Like, Eminem's the shit, you know?
Right.
And then you have Eminem doing a song with Nicki Minaj, and you're just like,
Yep.
wait, what?
That's the face. That's the face. You're just like,
what? And then, okay, it's cool. So I looked into it a little bit back then, and apparently Nicki Minaj just kind of asked and sent him some
if you don't
stuff.
ask, you don't get it.
And then he sent her
Em's
back.
a nice guy, man.
And then he like responded to her first message like, "Can you send me back some stuff that's a little me?" And then she sent him this track, evidently, and I guess went in, and we got with this beat here and this whole experience of Eminem.
Well,
I
not
can't tell
to
if
be
you-
fair, we get Slim Shady.
I can't tell if you like it or don't like it.
It's very creative.
I love it. I
gotta
love
say,
it.
I don't know that it's my favorite Eminem feature, but even when I think about it now, anyone wants to talk any of the shit they want. This is quite the win for Nicki Minaj as far as
this is validating her status. Like you're right. At the time, Eminem, like if you're on Team Eminem, you think he's king shit. And we were a lot of a lot of people were hating on the Young Money camp. I wasn't. I liked both. I liked when Lil Wayne and Eminem did their.
She's
things
pretty
together.
smart because, like, I mean, as like the album goes on, as we'll see, like she does like features with quite a few interesting artists. And I think that's pretty
I would
good.
say there's one mistake she made there, but we'll get there.
But
but what do you think about this song?
Well, I do enjoy the fact that they have that energy. They're both sporadic, both extreme, both just dropping really hot bars. Roman's Revenge is basically just bars. It's the most absurd thing you could say and the most wackish shit you could just think of, but presented in a really, really fun, energetic, quirky way. For example, Nicki goes, "I hear them mumbling, I hear them cackling, I got them scared, shook, panicking, overseas church, Vatican, you at a standing still, mannequin, you want to sleep on me, overnight, I'm the monster, I'm the motherfucking boss, overright, and when I pull up vroom, motorbike, now all my, getting bucked, overbite." Like, I fell in love with that when I first heard it, and I was just like, it's so direct.
It's like, I just got to comment on the puns, man. They're not really puns to me. Like, here's an example. And I'll kick that hoe, punt. Like, no, but like, they're all like that. Like, and Wayne does it too. They all do it. And they just like walk down the street, sidewalk. That's not really like, that's not really, there's no difference between what they're doing and what I just did there.
Yeah.
Well,
And they're just kind of imply loosely that there's some pun without saying the word.
It's like just more
like.
detail.
No. So I'll translate. And I'll kick that hoe like a punt. Force trauma like a blunt. You play that bitch like I'm in the front. All they've done is drop the word like, left a pause, and that's the formula. And now I know that it's kind of hype,
They're similes.
but they're really bad ones, in my opinion. And that's been my... Look, man, even like when we listen to Wayne and stuff, the shit's goofy. It's not the most well-written stuff. That's all I'm trying to say.
But
I think it's goofy.
But that's part of...
It's why
I think that's why this song works, because when you look at how Eminem spits his bars, like just a quote, fucking when he drops the whole F thing, go take a flying leap of faith off a fucking balcony before I shove a fucking wing up your fly ass. You know what time it is, so why ask? When Shady and Nicki's world clash, it's high class meets white trash. Like they're just.
That's actually really well done.
Well,
See, that's not what Nicki Minaj is doing. So
But I'm
go
saying
take a
that they're
flying
both
leap of
being-
faith off a fucking balcony actually has this little image that you're presenting, right?
Right.
Followed up with "For I shove a falcon wind up your fly ass." So he's now creating. So it's like
right.
It's
He's
not just
better at it.
no, it's not just open statements. Like I can't. Like I'm not trying to say that Nicki Minaj can't write bars. I'm saying that the style of bars she wrote is definitely not the style that Eminem wrote on this track.
Right.
Anyway, not to say you're
I'm just saying that they have the same level of energy, I find. I'm not
Don't
saying
disagree with
like
that.
Eminem, did write better verse, did write better bars, but he's also known to be legendary. I think if we were to put Eminem and Nicki and do Roman's Revenge 2, it would be a different thing.
This is just like how Nicki Minaj does these pun bars on any song. I mean, even when you look
Trying
at
here, Nicki. I'm
like
trying.
when you look at like the response to Remy Ma, it's still like the
Right,
same
no,
kind
no.
of puns. That's what they do. Anyway, did you have a grade?
I
or
gave it a
whatever?
4.5. I've always liked the song since it's dropped. It was actually the first song, the second song, because Moment for Life was the single that was out at the time.
Yeah.
But I really just like this song. I like how they use that like that Roman feel to it. They're getting all into like warrior status. They're bringing up dragons. Like they kept it with the theme. They kept it energetic. And after you were saying the story, like when Eminem messaged her back and was like, "Can you make it a little bit more me?" I can see where like there's that Slim Shady and Nicki Minaj. Like I see
Isn't
that.
Roman a Polish name? That looks like a Polish name. No, Roman Zelensky.
Yeah, well, Zelensky is. I would definitely
Roman's
say.
a first name. Like
Yeah.
it's of that part of the world. I don't know if it's a Roman culture.
I thought it was like I always.
Well, there's
Yeah,
like
dude.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah. See, so Roman Zelensky. Anyway, go
Who's
on.
Roman Polanski?
He's a director.
He left the States because he fucked a young girl and got kicked out of the country and had to like run away. But then we
But he's
praised-
also a great director.
right. So
But he's definitely a scandalous
because
director.
he's not black, we overlook that and we allow him to get celebrated while being a pedophile. Go on, Chris.
4.5 on 5. I was done.
Okay, well, anyways, so to finish up for this song, it starts off sounding like futuristic. The Dungeon Dragon is apparently a quote from Busta Rhymes.
Yes.
And that's what she's,
It's
I
from
guess.
the song Scenario by Q-Tips people and the group New School Kid. I know I'm not saying it right. The group Busta Rhymes was part of. It's a fucking cool music video.
The Tribe? Wasn't
Yeah,
it? Tribe
like
Called Quest?
leaders of the New School and A Tribe Called Quest Scenario, and it's a really cool song. And then all of a sudden, it was, if I'm not mistaken, the verse that made Busta Rhymes famous. Like it was the whatever.
Maybe she's hoping this is going to make her famous.
A little bit, but then in the middle of his verse, he's just like "rah rah" like a dungeon dragon, and it's amazing. And
Is that on the album we reviewed?
it's this song, and then no, it's a Tribe Called Quest song,
Okay.
and yeah, and so yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So obviously she's like the queen. That's kind of like basically what she's talking about. And she kind of like, she kind of saying like fight back when like life gives you shit. And she talks about Lil' Kim, how she was mad and how she's been like kind of knocked off of the top. And so like Nicki came in and swooped up that spot. And it's like a fighting song. It's pretty intense. There's like a tough beat. It's kind of creepy and scary at the same time. And then at the end we have Martha Zelansky, who is the mother of Roman, kind of like being like, okay, it's enough now. Like, come to bed. Like, you
You'll
know.
get arrested with your fighting words.
Yeah. And it's interesting. And they all have like British accents. And it's sort of like good and evil and like wise and young. And I don't know. It was interesting. I gave it a 4.25 for being a very creative piece of art.
That's cool. So I found that the beat had three parts. There was the regular part with the dun 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 kind of feel. That was the main part. Then there was the part that I'm calling the Eminem beat part, where she clearly just threw in this like build up part, like it like it was right before the chorus.
Yeah, yeah.
And you just like that's where Eminem would do his crazy shit. And then you have the Austin Powers part, because in the rest of the part in the chorus, if you really listen in the background, it has like that do 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 do. Kind of feel going on.
Yeah.
And so I'm calling that the Austin Powers part. And that was the song. And we discussed a little bit of the bars. I mean, Nicki Minaj is who you ain't fucking with. You little brag a lot. I beat you with a paddle lock. It's okay. I'm a movie camera block. Okay. You out of work. I know it's tough, but enough isn't. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. I do want to say that she doesn't outright say Lil' Kim on this track. There'd be subliminals, is how we call it.
Shots fired.
So just in case somebody's like, nah, it wasn't. Subliminals is implied that it could be. I think my favorite fucking lines in all of this, in this entire song, is when Eminem goes, "It's Shady and Nicki Minaj. You might find this sight quite odd, but don't ask why, bitch. Ask why not." And I remember hearing that as a younger lad, and I took him seriously, because that is my initial reaction. I don't know. This song's got that energy. Eminem isn't like the most noteworthy verse, I think, from him, except that it's on a Nicki Minaj song, and it's really cool. Nicki Minaj has like really weird voices that she uses, like the Eli Manning, like it's just crazy effects, and Eminem plays with some effects too along the way. And you just get the feeling this was some goofy, fun experience. I give it a 4.5 on 5. It's a really good
the music
song.
video was like trippy AF too. So
Wait, there's a music video for Roman's Revenge?
yeah. Well, I mean, I saw one that was like, or maybe it wasn't like the official video. Maybe it's just like a video made of it. But I watched it and it was crazy. So I don't know if it's true or not. But
I'd be very upset with myself if I went this long, 8 years without knowing.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe it was a fake one.
Well,
it might have been.
It's time for some poop lines with "Did It" on them.
Yeah.
Up, I don't need a mediator. Just let them bums blow steam.
Just let them blow. Just
Bums.
let them bums blow steam.
Radiators.
Pause. Like a radiator. Just saying, it's all over the album. It wasn't just that song.
Fair enough.
How do you feel about this one?
I remembered why I had an issue with this song, and it's the beat. It's really just the beat alone. It's annoying. It's sporadic. It kind of goes all over the place sometimes. Nicki delivers a nice flow on the beat, knows how to control it in her own Nicki way. But it's more of this, like, I'm king shit. I did this. I look at my grind, and I appreciate it. I do appreciate what she's explaining and how she's breaking it down. But the beat throws me off that at some points, this is a skippable song for me. I just don't care.
That's cool.
I gave it a 3.7 on 5.
And you, Bonnie?
I don't like. I mean, right away we see that she's kind of like tough like a man. Like if she talks about like if she had a dick, like what she would do, and she's obviously like, you know, tough, and she's kind of saying, well, I may not have a dick, but I mean, I can still accomplish all these other things.
Right.
And she talks about like her sons, and apparently she talks about this in a whole bunch of songs. That she's sort of, her fans are her sons, and so there's obviously like a bond between them.
I think there's another thing to it, just because I do hear it a lot. I think she's saying like the people who are copying her in terms of like the game, like the style around her rap game, and like being queen bitch. She's calling them her sons. In terms of like, I started it. Like there's another rapper who basically made kind of like the same line, and that's how I kind of got it. Like, I started this, y'all. I paved the way for this, and now you are copying me. Like that's just my little tidbit of what I thought it would be.
Maybe. Okay. And then she also talks about like how she's like I'm your. I think she calls someone like the stepson. And I think that's kind of like maybe someone that she like abuses and like walks over like a step, like walks over them and like, you know, kind of looks down on them and like kind of maybe doesn't treat them so nicely. Yeah, so I like how she keeps playing with the ears. Like when I had like the headphones in, it would be like and it would go back and forth, and it was fun. Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that she basically shits on people all day long, there's not much else to say here. It was good. I give it a 4 on 5.
So, for all of y'all who may like Nicki Minaj, if you do like Nicki Minaj and you made fun of Eminem for poop bars, allow us to just take a look at this chorus. Shitted on him. Man, I just shitted on him. Shitted on him. Put your number twos in the air if you did it on him. Number two, it means poop.
Deuce.
Just
Deuces.
throwing it there. Look, man, a lot of people hated on Eminem for poop bars. I am seeing poop bars all over fucking hip hop. Like, literally, y'all just need to relax with the poop lines. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep bringing it up because the internet, like, in the comments, this guy gave me this, like, fucking, like, he called me stupid because Eminem had, like, poop lines. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So that's where we're at now. I'm going to point it out. The geniuses of music, for some reason, have this fascination with fecal matter.
Who doesn't?
Like, it's just truth. Google it. It's some shit that you'll be surprised to see is got more substantiation than you may believe if you're hearing me here. Yeah, so this song is a little bit more. It kind of sounded a little more Roman Zelensky-ish, a little more of that aggressiveness.
Right.
All these bitches is my sons, and I'm gonna go and get some bibs for them. A couple formulas, little pretty lids on them. Then if I had a dick, I would pull it out and piss on him. Let me shake it off. I just signed deals. I might break you off, and we ain't making up. Blah, blah, blah. I don't need a mediator. Just let them bums blow steam like a radiator. Anyway, I like that, right? Because you can just picture Nicki Minaj wishing she had a dick. Like, she was out there, and she had to pee one day. And she really put some, like, this is how I picture it went down. She really realized the benefit of being, like, let's say in the woods, and you just whip it out and have a little pee. And then she kind of wanted that to happen. And then she
Every woman
realized
wishes that can
power
happen sometimes.
of being able to urinate on individuals, too. Like, if I need to disrespect you,
I think it's more
I'm
of
going to
that.
pee on you.
I think
And
that.
then I could only imagine
Like,
if
we
you're...
have to take more time about
like,
how we pee
y'all
on
have to
someone.
like get a
Like, we can't
funnel
just-
if you want to like disrespect somebody with some peeing or like
Yeah, or something like
like
that.
literally fly like if you want to pee on their face, you would have to like flash your vag at them, which is just uncomfortable.
Or build
So,
this like contraption
whipping
so
out
she could
a
sit down
dick
and just
would
you
be,
know
like,
pee
the
on
right
your
move.
face.
Anyway,
There's always that.
so yeah, this song I guess is fine. Gave the bitch a ride, got the Continental dusty. Trust me, I keep a couple hundred in the Duffy, couple wet wipes because the bum tried to touch me. Ew, that line made me think of Bonnie, and she's always complaining about shit like if you like. You know, put your hands in your mouth on the metro.
Oh,
it's
I hate
gross.
it. I hate it so much when people are on like public
So
transportation.
I thought that was cool.
Oof.
And then I really liked the next line too because it was actually clever. It's the part where Nicki Minaj basically rhymes words exactly the same, but this time it was okay. She's so guilty of this later on in her career. This one was okay. I'm the Terminator. Bitch talk slick. I'm gonna have to terminate her. See, like in 3 or 4 years later, she would have just said Terminator twice. So the fact that she actually said terminate her was cool. My favorite lines: if you could turn back time, like Cher. And then you used to be hair. Like she says here the way hair is said in a cool accent, but now you gone like Nair. And Nair is a hair removal product, and I thought that was a well done line. I had a 4.5 on 5. I mean, that beat, it's a little bit retro. It's a little bit old. It's a little bit dated, but I kind of like it still. It's got this grimy ass feel to it. And like, to me, it just goes to show that, like, so she had Eminem on the last song almost like, I can do it next to Shady. And then here's a little bit of the, well, you know what, I can do it without Shady. I can even do poop lines too. So I thought it was really cool as far as, like, the energy went and whatever. I mean, it's still totally not for me, I would say, like, in terms of whatever. And maybe I'm just being a little bit biased because I was duly surprised by Nicki Minaj on this. But I think it's a pretty good song. I mean, it's as good as the last one. Anyway. The next one is Right Through Me.
Why am I trying? No, you ain't lying. I tried to fight it back with defiance.
How do y'all feel about this one?
This was cute.
Yeah, it was very much a lovey-dovey song.
So Nicki Minaj is, what I'm understanding, basically kind of just questioning how this person in her life sees through all what I would quote as her bullshit, her lies, her cries, all the stuff that she puts up in front and has this person deal with. This person just consistently kind of goes through it. Now, I don't know if it's a dude or I like to think it's a boyfriend, or
I think it is. I watched the music
Right?
video. There was definitely a guy involved.
but I think it could also be taken in a way that she's just talking to somebody. It could be like a parental figure, a guardian, or somebody like her best friend or whatnot. But it's a nice.
I do not know so much that's that. Like,
We can go with the boyfriend
you
figure.
got the people to my soul. You could turn a free throw to a goal. This is a romantic endeavor here.
Okay, good.
Like,
So I'm not bad. I'm not wrong to
I
feel
would
like this
go
is
as
about a
far as
boyfriend.
to say this is kind of like a turbulent relationship where Buddy can see right through her, and in fact might use this information in not the most positive way all the time. Like the first verse kind of has her looking like I feel bad, like because you make me feel bad, and then that second verse really has her flip the script and like really flip it, like point out this isn't okay the way that you're fucking playing with this situation and whatnot. Like you can tell she's not okay, and like she's upset with the arguing and the whatnot and whatever, right?
Which is fair.
Oh, I took it a little differently. I kind of just took it like I've already mentioned. I took it as like this person is there. I feel like this person's there to help her, kind of protect her and take care of her, but she's admiring or she's kind of questioning in an admiring sense how this person's looking through her. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, like you make me laugh, you make me hoarse from yelling at you and getting at you, picking up dishes, throwing them at you. Why are you speaking when no one asked you? That's the way the first verse ends. The tone starts to flip. That's an argument. That's like she's kind of pissed off now and she's throwing shit at him and he's talking and she's like telling him to shut the fuck up. Like, why is she offering his opinion? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I pretty much wrote down the whole second verse, right? Because it's pretty fucking strong. Like, what are we doing? Because you see right through me. Because you say Nicki and I say who me. And you say no you and I say screw you. It's still kind of like a almost cutesy little bit of arguing going on, almost like a fight. But it's still a fight happening. Like, that's not positive. That's not okay. When you start dressing and you start leaving and I start crying and I start screaming, the heavy breathing, but what's the reason? Always get the reaction you wanted. Now it sounds like he's trying to walk out and bounce out, pretend like he's going to leave, simply to toy with her emotions and to get a certain reaction, to make her cry, to make her fucking freak out in a certain way. So I would say it's, probably, I'm actually fronting. I'm asking you something. Yo, answer this question, class in session. Tired of letting passive aggression control my mind, capture my soul. Okay, you're right. Just let it go. Okay, you got it. It's in the can. Before I played it, if you knew my hand, you could turn a free throw to a goal. You got the peephole to my soul. And here it's like you just kind of feel like at the end of the day, she knows she's right and she should be questioning stuff. And you almost feel like she caves to be like, you know what, fine, whatever you want, whatever you think is right, just shut up. Just like fucking end this now. And it kind of just like ends, because he knows exactly how to play her. At least that's how I took it, and I thought it was like really deep because I've been on the wrong side of that argument before, and I've played that role, and that sounded a little bit too familiar to me, and I was like, yeah, this is a really honest and pretty. I thought it was really deep song. Like it really kind of took a look at being the woman in that relationship and having this guy fuck with your head for a minute, and at least that's how I took it. I give it a 4.5 on 5. Y'all can obviously let me know if I'm wrong, but what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said, most of it. Right away, I feel like it sounded more poppy, like just like the sound of it. And we can see that she can sing pretty well, like not just like, rap, but she can also sing. Before listening to it, with the lyrics, I had no idea what she was saying, in the chorus. And I thought it was filthy white girl. I don't know why I thought that, but that's what I heard.
That's what you are.
Okay.
And I was like, what is this song about? And I had to actually sit down and listen to the lyrics or read them. And I was like, oh, that's what she's saying. So yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know. I thought it was nice. It was sweet, and it was fine. I gave it a 4. It was fine.
Yeah, it was sweet and nice. I mean,
in
I'm
like
not
a
the right
relationship kind of way.
demographic for a lot of these songs, so I'm trying to appreciate and give these. Anyway, what did you give it?
I gave it a 4. I liked it. I like what she did with it. I like what she presented. Again, I guess I misunderstood the entire concept of it. But the song's not bad.
Yeah, let's fly. like an eagle.
With Rihanna.
Against enemies, me against friends. Somehow they both seem to become one. A sea full of sharks and they
So I can tell you I read the whole history of Drake and Rihanna's friendship, while I was listening to this song a little bit. I got distracted. They're not friends right now because Rihanna doesn't like him. That's the current situation.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Because he confessed his love to her in an awkward public setting in 2016, I think, at an awards show. Because you know how Drake is.
He went in for like a kiss and she turned her head.
Yeah, it was just awkward. He's been in love with her since she's 22. I've noticed that Drake is very liberal with talking about what celebrities he has crushes on, even though he might work with these folk. Drake is sometimes a little bit creepy like that. Anyway, let's talk about Rihanna's and
beautiful
Nicki's
voice,
songs.
I must say, on this song. I was really captivated by how like the mixing and the control on Rihanna's voice. It was just so beautiful to listen to. Other than that, the song itself is basically more of the same that we've been getting. Nicki's like struggling, going through some shit, getting on top. You've got like Rihanna back into there, so you got like this sense of like, you know, two women trying to just fight through the struggles and the obstacles of life, and they're just trying to make it to the top so they can fly and get it out there. But I really like this empowerment that she's portraying. Like she's trying to give, you know, her target I'm assuming would be women, and is, you know, trying to help them, make them feel better about themselves or whatever it is she's trying to do. But it was great. I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it is a great song. They came to win, they came to rise. It really just sounds like a very like triumphant kind of a song. You know, that they've made their way past like all like the haters and all like the negative people and all like their shit. And they're performing with like, you know, famous like people at famous places, and you know, they feel like pretty like established and happy and like that they've made it. And then she just kind of like flies over all the critics and like all their kind of bullshit and whatever they're babbling on about. Like she's not listening to them because she's doing her, and like, you know, and they're both kind of saying that. And I think that this is just a great song about like overcoming and like being great, and like, you know, especially it is a powerful song, you know, for two women, for all women and for everybody. And it's done by like two colored women. And I think that that's even stronger of a message. It's sort of like a, you know, overcoming everything. And I think that this is a great song for everybody. I gave it a 5 on 5.
Yeah, I didn't really feel that this was so much. I mean, you knew this song was a female pop single because of that generic ass chorus. I'm sorry, say what you will, it sounded pretty, but that was like a Travis Scott level generic chorus. I mean,
I'm not saying it's like great, but it is empowering.
It's empowering for like anybody. The whole song is like struggle and hard times, and then I get better and life is cool. Like, it's just, to me, there was nothing to imply gender, let's say, in this one, or circumstance. So I guess a lot of it was just they let their reality speak, which was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was pretty deep, though. Like, I wish today it would rain all day. Maybe that'll kind of make the pain go away. Trying to forgive you for abandoning me, praying, but I still think, I think I'm still an angel away. Angel away, yeah, it's strange in a way. Maybe that's why I chase strangers away. They got the guns aiming at me, but I become Neo when they aiming at me, whatever. And that's like interesting, right? So like, she kind of hopes it's going to be rain and shitty out, and this is how I interpreted it. Feel free to disagree, but because on those terrible weather days she has an excuse to kind of like stay inside and avoid people. And I know at this point in her life she has an issue with the media and how she's being portrayed, and I can only imagine she has paparazzis and stuff, so she's kind of like able to escape.
Well, and she says it in like a few songs that she feels quite lonely.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of like a reflection as well.
And then, yeah, so whoever it is abandons her, and then she kind of realizes that she pushes people away, but at the same time people keep coming at her, and she drops a Matrix bar with that Neo line. So you just picture Nicki Minaj dodging bullets and shit, which is pretty fun to think about. She hears the criticism loud and clear, and I know that the time is near. See, we become alive in the time of fear, and I got no motherfucking time to spare. Cry my eyes out upon days and days, such a heavy burden placed on me. But when you go hard and your nays become yays, Yankee Stadium with Jays and Kanye's, and that's like it's a powerful line, right? Like,
Yeah.
so she took the criticism, but because she has haters, because there are people who doesn't like what she does, she realizes that this is actually proof of her success and whatnot, because you cannot achieve any kind of success without haters is something you're becoming. So if you really hate on somebody, you are equally contributing to their fame as much as loving them. That's a fucking reality that we're all facing today. But she also realizes she ain't got time to waste to worrying about people, because she stayed focused and she's pushed. She now gets to hang out with Jay-Z and Kanye West, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But this is such a sappy song, for all things considered. It's really like, look, it's a 4.25. I'm not the biggest fan of this because it's got that sound that I'm not the biggest fan of overall, that like super pop of 2008 sound or 10 or whatever. But I can't deny that lyrically this is some proper shit. Like, we're like 5 songs in and Nicki's basically said nothing stupid. Like,
Right.
her reputation at this time does not make sense. It was like, oh, Lil Wayne spilled over onto her and poor Nicki. Either way, however she might have looked or sounded to most people, I'm blown away by this, you know? Anyway, did we all give grades and stuff?
Yeah.
So the next one is Save Me.
Feel myself giving up, giving up.
This song seems to have some drum and bass and shit, like just sounds that were so popular in 2010, 11, like
Yep.
you couldn't escape them. And for the record, I loved the way this shit sounded when blended into pop music back then. This beat, this is some fire to me. This is such a cool beat. From the heartbeat sounds, like the heart monitor sounds like that come into it to just coincide with it. It's so dated, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to play
Lil
like this
Wayne
isn't
did it.
dated. But fuck, is this a fun beat and song and whatnot. Well, not fun song, but I really enjoyed it. Anyway, what did you guys think?
I also thought the beat was like fun, interesting, weird, different. She basically is just talking about like saving herself from herself, and she's feeling alone. And she, like I said before, she mentioned this a lot. And I guess it is lonely for her. You hear a lot about, kind of single women who are artists and they're alone because they're just so strong and powerful. It's hard to find someone that can balance, I guess. Sometimes. Plus, you don't really have, I guess, a dating social life. So yeah, I guess it is lonely. I'm like, but I would be her friend. I mean, I would definitely like hang out and I would let her do my makeup and I would try on her cool dresses.
Barbie tangs.
And I feel like we would just dress up and have fun and talk with British accents. And we would have a tea party. And that would be fun. I think this is a good song for like if you're like feeling kind of down. I feel like that's kind of what this is song. But for me, like I didn't find there was like a lot of like meat in this song, so I give it a 4 on 5.
I really suck at interpreting music. I thought this was a response to the previous song, Right Through. Well, not the previous actual song, but the song they earlier on the album, the Right Through Me track.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like she doesn't need to be saved anymore. She doesn't need to be like. Again, I thought that Right Through Me was somebody who's taking care of her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I took this and I was listening to it and I was like, oh, okay. So she's kind of responding to like, I don't need you now. Like, I got it on my own. You don't need to save me. Here's where I fuck up.
The chorus, guys, the chorus is, this time won't you save me? This time won't you save me? Baby, I can feel myself giving up. It's like a cry for help.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
opposite of that, I think. And I might be wrong. I don't mean to sound condescending. But, like, the verses contextualize her maybe not being, like doing very well,
It's
right?
like whoever it is, like, needs to just be like, hey, like, don't give up.
Right.
Or like, I drove for miles just to find you and find myself. All these screams, all the voices in my head. You gave me strength, gave me hope for a lifetime, but I was never satisfied. So in this case, she feels like she's done fucked up or pushed this person away. That's how I took it. Because conflict or whatever. Like, it's not your fault I'm a bitch, I'm a monster, yes, I'm a beast, and I feast when I conquer, but I'm alone on my throne and all these riches. I came this way just to say, hey, you know, you get the sense that maybe, like the way Bonnie was describing it earlier, she is the strong person. She is just trying to find this person to share her wins with and her whatever. But
and it is also kind of like that power struggle, like, like the, old school image of like the guy has to be like the breadwinner, and like, if she's at the top and there's nobody above her, she's not going to find a guy that's going to be supporting her, and there's a lot of guys that are going to have issues with that. So that's also another problem that's, she's being presented with, I guess.
Yeah, but like I think that the whole point of this is, in light of all that, there is this person that she had met that she pushed away, that there might be some complications, and she's putting out that SOS saying, but even if I'm an idiot,
like, come save me.
Yeah, because I need it. You're supposed to just know, right? Stupid boys. I thought this was a fucking 5-on-5. This was some honest, real shit with that awesome dated beat I really loved. And you, Chris?
I gave it a 3.7. I just didn't really feel it that much.
Okay. Well, now let's talk about the time I first heard Drake.
Was it a moment for life?
Was this really the first time you first heard Drake?
Put your drinks up. It's a celebration every time we link up.
Okay, I was wrong. I didn't realize Forever came out a year before this. I did know the one Drake song before this is the second Drake song that I ever heard.
I was just confused.
No, but really, like, I didn't know who Drake was, really. And then I heard this song, and Drake was there. And I knew.
But he's in Degrassi. You didn't watch Degrassi?
You know what? It's entirely possible, and I'm still going to say it, that this might be the first time I heard Drake. I mean, it's unlikely because Eminem was on the Forever song. So I probably heard that, but like I didn't know who the fuck Drake was back then. I didn't like Drake much on this song back then.
I don't like Drake to this day. Fuck.
Why?
I don't.
Represent.
Okay, if you really want to know why, so like let's just take a look at now. First of all, this is the first time I heard Nicki, right?
Yeah, this is the first time.
I fly with the stars in the skies. I'm no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a prize, but to live doesn't mean you're alive. Don't worry about me and who I fire. I get what I desire. It's my empire, and yes, I call the shots. I am the umpire. I sprinkle holy water upon a vampire. And then, like, in this very moment, I'm king, and in this very moment, I slay God. But, like, just look at the tone of all of that, right? So she starts right away saying she's up there. She's, like, accomplished everything. She's in charge, She's there, right?
Right.
And she's come from this place where she wasn't there. And you know that because she was no longer trying to survive.
It's kind of like she started from the bottom, and now she's here.
Exactly.
Like, I see where you did.
And she's kind of, like, set up this whole verse here where it's kind of like she's built up and she's finally accomplished this thing. But what I love it is that she keeps everything on the low, right? So don't worry about who she's firing and how she's building up her stuff and what's actually going on. But I love the fact that she points out that she fires people right away at the top, etc. She comes in and she feels like she has finally slayed Goliath and all this. And it's such a powerful, proactive fucking thing, right? Now, I did have to raise my eyebrow a little bit because I'm still hood. Hollywood couldn't change me, because I would say that over the next decade, stuff has changed a little bit for Nicki.
Well, I mean, she's still a bad bitch, but I think she's also...
I mean, she had some weird periods in the middle where I felt like Hollywood had changed her. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying from my ignorant perception. But then we had, like, Drake, right? And just take it. The first thing he says is, get down on your knees. I'm king. Blow me. Like,
basically.
I'm just like, that's just kind of not at all.
King-like.
Look, it's just, I mean, maybe it's boss or whatever, but Nicki inspired me. Drake was just fucking Drake.
But he's like so young. Like when I watched the video, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's such a young kid in this."
Great, Aubrey. Who cares? I mean, then let's look. These other rappers getting bodied and carried away. Fuck it. Me and Nick getting married today. Like, he's just very liberal with these lines, Yeah. Like, I get it, because he's the king and the queen. Hello. But like,
he full on. We all know.
But she also said she was the king.
We all know Drake's got a thing for Nicki.
Yeah, but he was
like,
just
as... He
also has a thing for Rihanna.
He's just as creepy.
Yeah, but he puts it all in a full creepy-ass way, and he basically tells Nicki he's staring at her chest.
I mean, that's not now. We're not there. That's another song. I think that's what. Anyway, that's the future.
That's like last year, 2 years ago,
Yeah,
2016.
so it's not 2010 when Drake's just starting to be like this. All I'm saying is Drake really took away points from this song because that chorus is beautiful.
Yep.
That beat is beautiful.
Yep.
This song should be a 5 on 5.
Nope.
But Drake ruined it.
Yep.
So now it's a 4.5 on 5
Yep.
because I can't call it I can't say it's like Drake's verse is bad, but I'm saying Drake's verse does not fit this song at all, in my opinion. It's just the creepiest validation of Nicki Minaj we're gonna get, and it's not the only time, as Chris has pointed out, that he was creepy like that. I don't know. It just sometimes Drake doesn't feel right to me. That's all. So yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, so I just said that, she's going to be, fine, and she's going to, have her empire, and she's going to be great, and she's king, and she knows that she's tough, and kind of, cheers to her, her greatness, and she feels so alive, and she's, on the verge of, this, real fame and real greatness and real, accomplishment, and, she talks about, I don't know, Drake talks about how Lil Wayne had a #1 album and while he was in jail, and that's why he was, I guess he's his mentor or who he looks up to.
What does that have to do with anything?
Right? It was a bit random.
The random little Caesar shout out.
Yeah, it's they're we get it. You're all Young Money and you're telling.
Drake doesn't know how to gloat properly and doesn't know how to brag properly without sounding like you're doing it wrong. So
sorry, Chris. Sometimes he feels good, sometimes he don't.
Sure.
That's my favorite line from that song.
He shouts out OVO, he shouts out Wayne, he shouts out Young Money, he shouts out. I'm pretty sure he shouts out his fucking accountant. We get it. People helped you get rich, but I agree with Holden on this.
Hold on, no new friends.
But I agree with Holden on this because Drake's verse doesn't sound like it really fits the song. It doesn't really sound king-like. It doesn't really sound boss-like. It sounds like, hey guys, I got a lot of handouts and a lot of help to make it where I am today, so thank you. I'm king shit. Don't forget that.
Drake was making $20,000 Canadian a year at 16. I don't know any 16-year-olds who made that kind of money. Throwing it out there.
Yeah, we'll just cover that so he doesn't come and kick our ass.
All right. Anyways, I really like this song. I thought it was a great song. It made you feel powerful. She just wants to have her this is her golden moment, and she just wishes it would last, and she hopes it kind of lasts, and I think that after this it's going to be even more hard work, and I think that that's kind of what she's saying. And it's just she just feels so alive, accomplishing all of this. And I gave it a 5 on 5.
Yeah. Let's talk about Check It Out.
All right.
Check it out, check it out, check it out, check it out. Yeah.
Anything. A space shuttle is the first reusable spacecraft. It's a particular type of spacecraft with the intent of coming back down into the atmosphere after being used, making her whole line
okay,
bad.
There's a point to this. I'm trying to feel what are you? What?
Did you not hear how she's in a spacecraft and she's not space shuttle and she's not coming down, and she picked a type of spacecraft that is specifically designed to come down in the same way that starships aren't meant to fly. Starships are built in space and float. They don't really fly. So all I'm trying to say is
She needs a NASA tour.
Total geek out right now.
it just really didn't sit well with me.
Geek out right now.
Look, Video Killed the Radio Star is a good song.
Yes, it is.
This is not a good beat. Look, will.i.am is terrible.
Whoa, okay. Back it up.
will.i.am is absolutely the bane of pop music.
William
of
is
this.
a good producer.
He has a couple of Black Eyed Peas songs prior to 2010 that are okay, like when Justin Timberlake's in your fucking beat. Mm-hmm. But name anything since 2010 that's really good. I Got a Feeling is kind of depressing all this time later. It's not really that good. It just felt good while we were getting white boy wasted to it.
I'm trying to figure out now what's
in fact, it's just Time of My Life and a lot of it's Britney bitch type stuff, but
that
not like
Justin Bieber song that dropped with will.i.am.
Yeah,
That was good.
Was it, or was it really the same recycled will.i.am bullshit? He just had like that one sound, I think, where he would
Well, people like his one sound. That's why they keep
people
redoing
liked
it.
his one sound for a couple of years, like every other fad, and then where is will.i.am today? Oh, right.
He's chilling on a beach, yo.
Listen,
Look,
all I can
let's talk
defend him with is 4 months ago, he was on a Breakfast Club interview.
Okay.
That's it.
Look, will.i.am did not make music in this era that I
No,
thought
wait,
was
they're
good.
coming back. Yeah, no, they're coming back. They're supposed to be coming back to Black Eyed Peas without Fergie doing the whole thing. So he's working, bud. He's in the studio making his will.i.am magic.
Fergie
It
Ferg.
was pretty bad.
she's not
Like,
bad.
all I'm trying to say
She'll be there.
is that the will.i.am sound of this era was contrived pop music badness and weak ass limes. Like, oh, we just had to kill it. We on the radio hotter than a skillet. It's not.
You don't want to put your hand on the skillet. It's very hot.
I'm a shot caller. Get up off my collar. You a chihuahua. I'm a Rottweiler. Like, these aren't great lines. This is fluff. will.i.am calls the beat banging. He makes sure in the chorus to call the beat he produced banging. Like, hey guys, in case you weren't sure, you have to like this beat. So
It's banging.
thank you, will.i.am, for that. Nicki's okay. They know I'm a beast. Yeah, I'm a fucking savage. Haters, you can kill yourself, huh? That line would have never gone down today. That line
Right?
would have never
Like,
gone down. And then
Logic,
in my
Joyner,
space shuttle,
everybody.
and I'm not coming down. We've already discussed space shuttles. Check this motherfucker out. It got me in the club just rocking like this. Oh. That part, it sucked. That part right there where your weird effects. Check this motherfucker out. It got me in the club just rocking like this. Oh. Man, it's Video Killed the Radio Star, dude. Like, it basically had its time and place in the 80s. And this didn't last very long. This doesn't work in 2018. I'm sorry, but will.i.am ruined this fucking song. I really liked Nicki Minaj's last verse. I really like where she's like, how the fuck they get mad because they're run done, mad because I'm getting money in abundance. And a lot of actually, like, Nicki sounded good there. And I was going to give this song like a 2, but because of Nicki's verse, I'm going to give it a 3.
All right.
This is the worst song I've heard that we've reviewed in like 4 months, easily. The worst song I've heard in a long time.
I was like, yo, we've been at this. I can go back in the archives and find
This is
some really
in my
bad
like
music.
top 10 least favorite songs I've heard on this channel.
Wait. This song or the Ritz album?
The Ritz album I didn't like on a more ethical perspective and redundancy, 21 songs in a row. All of them were more talented than will.i.am.
Okay. Okay.
Look, if you guys happen to be will.i.am fans, I'm not that sorry. That was some trash music he put out in this era.
Peas crew coming at one too.
Black Eyed Peas wrote things like My Humps, My Lovely
Lovely
Lady
Lady Humps.
It's not good music.
great
It's
song.
just trash. That was good when you're faded. Listen to it sober. Not that good.
Why would you do that?
See? Anyway, what do you guys think about this song?
Okay, so you basically tore up the entire track and explained what it is.
Yeah.
You could disagree with my assessment.
No, I gave the song a 4. I like the song for its creativity, its energy, its positivity, and I cannot.
Can you explain the creativity side that you saw here?
I'm about to, gladly.
Please.
I cannot stop thinking every time I hear the do do do. I see Barbie, Nicki Minaj, and Barbie's fucking Playhouse.
Creativity is defined as the use of the imagination or original ideas. So rehashing an 80s beat,
I
barely
get you.
tweaking it.
I get
not
you.
seeing that as an example
But I'm
of
saying
creativity.
for me, on my what I'm seeing here, every time this song comes on, I get little Nicki Minaj in a freaking dollhouse, and it just suits the entire theme of who she is and
Okay.
what she's doing.
That's because you're hearing Aqua and you're not hearing Video Killed the Radio Star.
All right, we're gonna have this off camera.
Aqua would be the oh kind of sound, pulls back from Barbie Girl, where it kind of fits in with the whole image.
Okay, yeah.
But this is actually taking almost directly and literally Video Killed the Radio Star.
Actually, never fully heard that song.
I know, but that it's a direct pull. All I'm saying is, therefore, it's not that creative.
Okay, so here, let me rephrase this. The beat is not creative.
Okay.
What I am interpreting from the song.
You are creative, Chris. I give it to you.
Fine.
Because will.i.am did nothing creative on this song. And I'm not going to go too far, but she kind of sounds a little bit like Fergie, except for that rap verse.
I'll give you that. I like the energy. I like the positivity. I like the pinkness, as we're going to call it. That
All
was
fair.
it. That's it. 4 on 5. I'm getting out of this battle.
I just couldn't stand for that creative comment.
All right, well, here I go. I'm coming in.
Bonnie, tread lightly.
So, I mean, obviously, we've said most of it is produced by will.i.am. We're well aware. It definitely sounds like him and his style and what he's trying to do. This song definitely was different from the rest of the album. Again, the fact of the sound. I mean, obviously, it was the only one produced by will.i.am.
It's the only skippable one.
And he's so fly. This is sort of like a club hit song, but it's not really I tried to dance to it. And it's not really a club song. It's just one of those uppity songs.
You're not drunk in 2010.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. And then Nicki's cool on this song.
Deppin' RY.
No, you're in the club at 2010.
Not you guys. Not me.
True.
Not me. I'm sipping Deppin' RY.
Sure, I'm just trying to describe the context this song works.
Yeah.
2 a.m.
When they're just kind of I mean, that's it. I mean, Nicki just says what she is. She's kind of saying she's not a simple bitch, she's not a basic bitch, whatever. I thought it was a fun song. I give it 4.5.
You can see Bonnie's just yo, don't kill me.
The song's
I love him.
trash. Blazin. Blazin is the next song.
Before the storm comes the calm. Hope you can take the heat like.
I mean, this is a song.
No,
okay?
hold on. Before you get all positive, let me just ruin it and just get this out here. I didn't like the track.
That's fine.
I didn't enjoy it. I don't know
okay.
why it had this weird 90s commercial sound to it. This I just picture seeing fucking commercials going by as they're rapping and stuff. I didn't really enjoy Kanye's part. I found it to be very lengthy and just all right, I get it. Good. I'm just part of it, I think, is because I have been watching a lot of Kanye information lately to kind of stay updated. I'm just a little sick of hearing from him, so that could be that is on my part. But this is not something that I like back when in 2010, and this is still something I don't like now. I gave it a 3.5 on 5.
I don't want to touch the slavery comments from Kanye with a 10-foot pole, but that dragon energy comment, y'all misinterpreted it. I read the whole Twitter thing. Y'all just cherry pick some ideas. Anyway, Kanye's trying to make a play for 2024. Obviously, he's running for fucking president. Obviously, he's going to run Republican. Obviously, that's all he's trying to do. That's what I got to say about Kanye. When it comes true, on the record. How did you feel about this song?
I mean, it was all right. I liked the song that was featured, in the background. I also just wanted to note it because, Kanye is known for, long songs, and this is the longest song that's on the album. It's 5 minutes and 2 seconds. And I just thought that was kind of, interesting. And there's a lot of, old type songs, featured, 80s, 90s tracks that are featured on this album, kind of, rehashed. And I always think that that's kind of, an interesting thing, that she's into that. She flies high, she's blazing and she's up there, but I think it's a different kind of high. She's just high on success and accomplishments and and then she's really made it and she's living that lush life because she deserves it and fuck everybody else, she's here and she's gonna have whatever she wants and she's gonna live that life. And it's kind of just a power song. It's this is where she's at now and she's living it.
So, I mean, it's I'm balling, just I'm blazing.
Yeah. I give it a 4.5.
I would say it's more I'm winning.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's successful and
like
she's
she
happy.
comes in and she drops probably the trickiest and hardest flow that is on the album. Like, how could it be little me had the power to be the best bee in the league? Yeah, inevitably, but it could it belittle me? You was heckling me, which is what Chris is doing here. Now it's monotony, winning regularly. I catch wreck on recreation, so I exceed your expectations. Bitches ain't got it in them. I kill them and I skin them. The contract was signed, but I am the addendum. I'm like, and then she like goes through it, and I'm like, this is hard. This is like fucking. This is like when she was on
she's
Monster.
a great rapper.
Like Kanye brings out the monster in Nicki is what I'm trying to say. Plus that beat is alive. It's dynamic. It's like one of the fullest, most interesting beats on the album, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Kanye comes out. Hold on, before we talk about Kanye, I really like how Nicki ends the verse with, I'm on that different type of high, heroin, like the drug. Put on my cape and hit the sky, heroin, like the female version of hero. Which has always been a curiosity, how heroin has been a drug and a female hero all at the same time.
And again, because, like, you know, she's always, like, standing in that, like, superhero pose, you know? She's just kicking ass.
I think Kanye is horny, and he wants to cheat on his girl again and get away with it. And Kanye just wants to get laid a little bit. I mean, maybe he says other stuff, but I was really caught up on. And then I'm like, I think without makeup, you still bad as hell. That's very sweet. I'm gonna grab your waist, then I'm gonna grab your face, and oh, Kanye's back at it. Then, like immediately after, he's cheating on the girl with her best friend. And I realized Kim probably had to put up with some stuff, whatever he wants to say.
Had to?
I guess has to. Eh? I don't know, man. I didn't care anything about what Kanye had to say, but damn do I like how he said it. I gave this song a 4.5 on 5. I thought it was really well done. Okay.
Here I am.
All right, Chris, how do you feel about this one?
I like this one. It has the intro had a little bit of like a rock feel to it. I enjoyed that. And overall, the song itself is good. I don't really have much to say because she kind of is just, again, like, she's very consistent in what she's trying to put out there. And
what is she putting out there on this one?
From what I'm understanding is she's not going to change. She's here. She's taking the spot. She's taking the spotlight. And she's going to keep doing it and keep winning. At this moment, I know that, like, I got that message, Nicki. I understand you're working hard. You're pushing forward. I got that. But I like the concept of not wanting to change and staying on that mindset. But now I don't know a little bit, because now I kind of look at Nicki now and I'm like, have you changed? Do you think you changed? Like, has Hollywood changed you? Like, what would you say now if you were to listen to this? I don't know. I didn't fully follow her up until now, so I don't have like that much of an opinion. But I gave this song a 4.
Okay. And you, Bonnie?
I think that she's just kind of saying, like, she's doing what's best for her, and, you know, like, that's all that matters. And, you know, she's kind of, like, new in, like, you know, this, like, scene, and if you don't like her for what she is, then you can basically, like, fuck off. Like, she's kind of just dealing with that, and she's just being her. She's being powerful. And she's not gonna, like, change and, like, be, like, dismissed for anybody. This is her, and this is her career. It's not a joke what she's doing. Like, this is who she is, and, you know, deal with it. So I thought it was, like, a good kind of strength song. It was a bit sad, I feel like, a little bit. You know, like, it felt like she was kind of dealing with all this stuff. I gave it a 4 on 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, immediately you feel the weight on her chest as this one comes in. Like, why is it that you could only see the worst in me? I swear sometimes I feel like it nurtures me. So here, I guess she's responding maybe to the media, to the way people talk about her and how people criticize her. I mean, I was so guilty of that back in the day. I just talked a lot of shit once upon a time. So I can only imagine, like, what does it actually feel like to be that person? You know, but to keep it all real, it's kind of hurting me. And she's just, like, telling you that, like, this shit doesn't feel nice, you know, like she almost gone out of her way to express it. And then I could say that I'm done with it, but it lurks in me, so I'm gonna try to just tell myself it works for me. Then I take a real long drive in the Mercedes, and I might pop a couple of them Percocets. Yeah, that'll make me transform to Hercules. And you get the sense that she's having a lot of trouble coping with this pain, and she lies to herself almost and says, yeah, this hatred, it fuels me, it makes me stronger, it does this. And then only after she pops a couple of perkies and finds that chemical fuel to become the person she needs to be to cope with it. So it's kind of like this mixed feeling of strength and pain, and how to achieve that. I'm like, I swear to God, man, everything in life is old, and the only thing that changed is the price of gold. Even in the afterlife, I'm gonna fight your soul, because the second time around I'll be twice as bold. That's an interesting series of life, man. Like, here you have this idea that, like, nothing really changes. Things are all kind of like the same level of bullshit, whatever. All that changes is how much stuff is worth, And then the value of gold is still bad and negative, so she ties it right into the afterlife, how she's going to come in and her purity is going to fight maybe your corruption. And because of the experiences, she's going to be even stronger and shit, And then she rolls up, and she kind of is almost like looking for her strength and almost accepting the backlash of what her stuff is. But I thought the most powerful part was that outro bit where she's like, it's a joke, it's a game. Why am I still keeping score? I'm in pain, I'm ashamed. I'm a woman, hear me roar. And she just kind of lets you know at the end of the day that behind everything else, she's a woman and she's strong and she's got her voice and she's going to use it and you can't stop her. And it was really powerful and shit. I thought this beat was amazing. Her flows, her strength, her delivery. This is like, there's nothing wrong with this song. I give this a 5 on 5. I thought it was very lovely. All right. Dear Old Nicki.
You never switched it up. You played the same part, but I needed to grow. And
You like this one, Chris?
I like this one.
Do you feel it's the same old message she's been saying on every song?
Nope. This is her talking to her old self. A little bit introspective, a little bit interesting on how she's kind of reaching out for that older version of her who may have not cared as much or may have been a little bit stronger than what she is now, or coping with things or dealing with things differently. It was nice. It was nice to kind of see like Nicki using her alias as a comfort. Like, as an actual person. Like, You're not only just the other part of me, but you're also somebody who dealt with a lot of this shit. You're also somebody who used to do this stuff. But there's a line that she says, and this is where I get a little bit confused when thinking about, when she's saying I'm not going to change or whatnot. She goes, but you was underground and I was mainstream. I live the life now. We would daydream.
Because she's talking about how she sold out. That's what this song's about. This is like the modern pop Nicki Minaj talking to the underground real hip hop Nicki Minaj, and it's
so like, I got the concept then.
Sort of, you got like the idea, because the way you described the concept made it sound like it's Nicki Minaj talking to the actual person behind. Nah, this is like pop sellout Nicki Minaj now talking to the real rapper Nicki, because back in the day she had better bars, stronger, whatever, and then this is what got her the records, and so she's kind of just doing this comparison, like, hey, old Nicki, all of my old fans are kind of like, the ones that you helped me get, that got me. So the person that she was when she got signed to Young Money is dead for this person that got created since she's been with Young Money, and she's talking to this old person, which is still a rap persona she created.
Right.
So it's not like the person behind per se.
What I meant by the person behind was I feel like she's looking at old Nicki as an actual person. Like, even though it is her, even though she's basically talking to herself and acknowledging like whatever changes she went through, I'm saying like I got this feeling like she's kind of looking at the old Nicki as like somebody she used to rely on. Is all I'm saying. I know she's not physically talking to an actual person. She's talking to herself.
I mean, yes, it's fine. Yes, she's talking to the she's personified her old persona, and she's having a conversation with that. I don't think that's what you expressed the first time, but that's totally fine. You can express it now, however. Yeah. Anyway.
That's pretty much it. I gave it a 4.
So yeah, I mean, she's obviously like, she's grown, she's changed, and like the old Nicki, like you said, is dead. And I think it's kind of like her conscience as well, like, that is kind of talking, and she's kind of like listening to her, and she's kind of like, well, like you're not who I should be listening to anymore. Like, you're kind of different. She's kind of left her behind. And maybe like in Brooklyn, like, I don't know where she left her old self. But she's here now because of who she was. And, she's, I don't know, it's kind of like where she's been and like where she's at now, and like this is kind of like the changes that she's needed to go through to accomplish what she's done. And she talked, it's different than what she planned and what she thought it was going to be. And she also talks again about like how alone she is, and I guess there's that. And she obviously has plenty of time to like think and kind of like reconnect with like her inner self, and kind of how she like misses her, and like how she kind of wishes that she could get back to that, but still with like the same success. I think that she kind of wants both. And I think it's a good song. I think overall it's just kind of like talking about growth and change, and like kind of dealing with like inner struggles. So I give it a 4.25.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much that. She's talking to her underground self, the one that probably kind of kept it real and recognizes that maybe she's a little bit fake, or she's probably like the embodiment of what she once hated and shit too, right? So like she kind of is like, where you at? I try to channel you in the hopes that I could steer you back, but it's like every intersection we just missed each other. You got your fans waiting. Tell me you ain't 6 feet under. Tell me that you're coming back when you just took a break. Maybe I blamed you for everything that was my mistake. In hindsight, I loved your rawness. I loved your edge. So here you're getting the sense that like she's thinking back to when she was younger. She still had the same passion she used to have, the same energy. And now that she's kind of is where she is in life, she's had to tone it down and almost like literally sell out to kind of accomplish her dreams. I remember that was a lot of the feedback of Nicki Minaj. She used to be good and now she's not. Did I chase the glitz and the glamour, money, fame, and power? Because if so, that will forever go down as my lamest hour. Wait, did I actually sell out? If so, that would be fucking lame. I should have kept you with me, getting at them nameless cowards. There was no match for you, couldn't, defeat your prowess. It's kind of like she's like reflecting back, and like maybe the route I chose by redefining myself and becoming this other person in order to get the success that I now have, this life that we used to daydream about and shit. Maybe there was a cost there that I wasn't really considering, and there's almost a bit of regret on how she got to where she is today by having to give up that part of her that was pure and real, like underground. It's like you make rules for yourself as an artist, and she evidently had to violate some of those rules to get to the position she is today. And I guess she's having that little conflict within herself. So I give it a 4.25. It's a good song, but I don't know, it's a little on the fluffier, like I can't really see myself listening to it side of things.
Yeah. Let's check out Your Love.
Okay. Apparently she didn't want to release this song, but it got leaked and radios played it, so she had to release this song. And here we are with this soft experience.
She loves her boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's really what I got from it. It's just a really nice appreciation song for the guy that's been around with her, helping her hold things down. She's really glad that he stayed around and didn't fuck with her. 4 on 5.
I like the feature. It was a Annie Lennox song from 95, so again, like another kind of like older song. And this, she's talking about this guy that she's, with, and that he's got everything that she wants, and, he calls her mama and she calls him baby, and so they've got that kind of relationship, which is, fine. She wants more of his love, and he's kind of a bit of a thug, but he's kind of, he sends her money and like he sends her nice things. It was catchy but slow. I gave it a 4.25.
Yeah. It is the sappiest. This is another one of those, I'd say, girlier songs.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I met him sometime before in a different life where I record. I mean, he was Adam. I think I was Eve. But my vision ends with the apple and the tree. S on my chest. I'm ready to save him. Ready to give up anybody who plays him. So she kind of really plays up on like this almost fate and destiny like role on it. But I really like that she sees herself still as the superhero in this situation. Like she knows her role in being able to be good for him in light of all of so she really does love him. But then comes a line that I think I've seen on endless lists of quotable lyrics that people have felt the need to correct. So let's correct it. Anyway, I think I met him in the sky when I was a geisha and he was a samurai. Do you know where the correction's coming? All right.
The geisha and the samurai.
Yeah, maybe I said geisha wrong. If I did, that's fine. At least I know that it's not Thai. Somehow I understood him when he spoke Thai. Thai is not the right country. It's
No.
Japanese. And it would be... The correct line would be, somehow I understood him when he spoke Japanese, but there's no rhyme there, so she changed it to Thai. Never spoke lies, and he never broke fly. Sure, but like, yeah, it's just got to be said that geishas or whatever, Japanese. Plus, they looked like really interesting people. You should look up geishas, like the actual geishas. They're
But isn't that like... I watched the geisha movie.
Do you Memoirs of a Geisha?
Yeah, that whole 3-hour ordeal.
maybe.
Well, it was a good movie.
It was. But when you're a kid and you're forced to watch it and your mom's like, you're not allowed to use your computer because you fucked up, you're kind of like, all right, 3 hours of my life, can you kill me now?
It's totally not a movie for kids. But yeah,
Are they not like...
They're not prostitutes. They're more like lifestyle companions of an elite class that will make you feel good in a self-esteem way. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You should look into their culture, but they're a lot more complicated than sex workers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gave it a 4. It's fluff. It's lovely fluff. It's sweet. I can see why she didn't want it on this album, though, because it is a little bit less of the I'm a strong, independent woman that can handle some shit, and there's a little bit more that this rich guy is taking care of me feel here.
Right.
And I can see how she really didn't want it to be there, but it is a sweet song, and etc.
Well, let's find out what the last chance is.
Go Natasha Bedingfield. Forgot about Natasha Bedingfield. Just throwing it out there. I forgot.
She's a very nice. I believe she's British. She's a lovely voice.
She's good. I just forgot about her.
Soft and girly.
This is like the funnest, happiest song on the whole project. Like, it's fun. Like, it's like they had a good time making it. You could tell that they were almost pals. You could feel the camaraderie between the two of them in the studio as they put this little ditty together. And I really enjoyed that. What did you guys think?
I just thought it was all right. I mean, she's ready to blast away. She's ready to make money and be successful and get to the top and do what she's got to do. She's talking about blasting away and that wasn't a sexual innuendo. It's just she wants to kill it and succeed, I guess. I don't know. It was all right. Maybe I'm just not a fan of sappy girl music, so I'm not the biggest Natasha Bedingfield fan. But I gave it a 4 on 5.
Nice. It's a good way to end the album. I like how she brought back the weird voices. She came back with that sporadicness, the energy. It didn't feel so sappy to me or soft to me. It felt pretty much like that energetic Nicki that we kept getting.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go on.
But it's pretty much just, again, she's ready to take the crown. She's coming for it. She's not gonna stop. It's a good way to kind of end the album and bring it back together as this is who Nicki Minaj is. You've seen different parts of me. I can be sappy. I can be a boss bitch. But just remember, I'm going in it for the money, making sure that my moves are correct. I gave it a 4 on 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say this is super sappy. Just fucking sugary ass candy music, happy
get
people.
a cavity. It's so sweet.
I don't know. I mean, but it's got decent lines and stuff. I get it in though, no sexual innuendo, nobody that I could just depend on until I touch down in the end zone. And then they come out like roaches, pecking away like vultures. But little did they know, distribute the payroll, pick out, she's actually making stuff happen. I don't think it's so much as I think she's just kind of letting you know that now that she's had her success, she's starting to see some of the same consequences in the same situation. I really like the fact that she gave this whole little part about how people made puns about her last name, and that I don't know if it's this one, it might be a different one, but I think it was this one, and how people were just kind of dumb about it, and she had to switch it up and own it because Minaj à trois, Nicki Minaj, and people were just not able to get over that. I could have had Fame Jump Shot with the stupid ass name because you couldn't get around the last name. So my star, it's like insane that she literally had issues just because of her last name and people were just kind of dumb. So my crossover was The Game and It's Alright. Switched up the flow, yeah, it's alright. Go back to that, yeah, I still might. I'm gonna just do me when I feel right. So here she's just, laying it down. Like she's had to reinvent herself. She's had to kind of come at it in a way that worked in light of the fact that maybe people were just kind of stupid at first and not so willing to accept her. Natasha Bedingfield just sings a lot, and she does the outro where she kind of sounds a little more like Nicki while still singing. I had it as a 4.5 on 5. Like I said, they sound like pals. It sounds like a really good time to be had. It was like a really fun, high energy, like, you know what? All things considered, this is a good day. That's kind of how you feel like when this last song ends a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, and then for the album, I gave it a 4.34. There are a couple of songs that are not for me on this project, just sappy stuff that I would never listen to. Definitely a more of a pop rap project. A couple of songs feel dated. The will.i.am is the worst experience of my freaking, but it's just terrible song. But all things considered, I misjudged Nicki Minaj, and this woman is a pretty legitimate and like this album, like there's a lot in the role model department, a lot in the stand-up and encouragement department, a lot in the I kind of wish I'd given it a fair chance when I was younger because I was wrong about Nicki Minaj for a minute kind of department. So I think if a lot of people had heard this album, maybe they wouldn't have talked as much shit instead of just seeing what her features may have been like on other songs. Anyway, it was a really decent experience, all things considered. I would say check it out if you're into it. It's a good project. It's hard to recommend it to people who don't know her. It's definitely not like Anaconda. It's some interesting shit. It's really proactive, and it's really not what you would expect from the singles that came out as far as the music videos and stuff are concerned of her career.
Right.
Okay. I was, pretty much the same thing. I gave it a 4.32, so that's an 86%. I really liked it. I think she's pretty talented. When she does her weird sort of alter egos, I think sometimes it's a bit too much for me, but it is still interesting and creative, and I appreciate it. She can spit, bars. She is a talented rapper. I think that she's talented. I think she knows that she can be successful. I think she's going to continue being that powerful woman, and she's not going to let anybody knock her off the top, at least not for a long time. So yeah, it is a classic.
Cool. And you?
Well, mathematically, my grade came up to 3.95, which I was a little bit surprised because I actually really enjoyed the album, but except for those 3 songs that I may have given a lower mark to, I think that what the album brought to the table is really nice, really extreme and energetic, but I'm not the target audience. I'm not.
It's interesting to see how it does translate to people who aren't the target audience. What is the message that you're getting? Can you appreciate this? I think that's interesting.
I can appreciate it, but I'm most likely going to go and listen to Lil Wayne or Eminem or one of those before I come and listen to this album in whatever state mood I'm in.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah, okay. Thank you all for watching, everyone. Appreciate you being here. Let us know how you feel about the album in the comments. We do care about your comments. Also, if you are curious, you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/behindthatsuit. As you can see, Mozart here. He's our first Patreon. He's an awesome guy. You can check that out and see what tier. Let us know what tiers what prizes you think are cool for Patreon. So yeah, thank you. Without you being here, there's really no point in doing this. Let us know what albums you'd like to see us cover in the future, and hope that you enjoyed this and have yourselves a great day, everyone.
Bye,
bye.